Some of my favorite items in my gym are what I call utility items. They're the things that I use on multiple different exercises that make all of my other gear better. And on top of them being my favorite items, usually they're kind of hidden gems or surprises, things that I didn't expect to use as much as I do or like as much as I do. And that's what I've got for you guys today. I've got something called the Slant Stack by the Tib Bar Guy. Now, a couple weeks ago, I received in all of the Tib Bar Guy stuff. They were nice enough to reach out and ask me if I wanted to review their stuff. So you'll be seeing all of their stuff here on the channel. And I just started doing the knees over toes guy training, if you're familiar with that.
Yay!
And this stuff is all really well suited, and a lot of it is designed just for that type of training. So timing was great. I said, send it on out. And to be honest with you, of the 4 things they sent me, this was the one I expected to like the least, and it's turning out to be one of the ones that I kind of am liking the most. So even though I'm not ready to do a full review on all the Tib Bar Guy stuff, I thought it was important that I jump on and just do a quick 3 to 5 minute rundown on the Slant Stack to kind of give you guys the lowdown, because it's one of those things where, quite honestly, if you were to look on their website, and this runs $149, and the first thing a lot of people say, and I was one of them, is, you know, for 149 bucks, I could probably go to Home Depot and make one of those myself. And while that's definitely true, I was at the hardware store today just kind of pricing everything out. I want to show you why that's probably not the best idea or the easiest idea for most of us, and why I actually like this better than that option. And if for no other reason, then you just order it, it shows up and you can start using it, right? There's no messing around, there's no trying to figure things out. And so let's dig into this and kind of show you what it's made of. First of all, this comes in 4 pieces. You can buy these separately, but I think the best value money-wise is for 149 bucks, you get all 4 of these pieces. You get the top part, which is basically a slant board. And I'll show you what this is used for in a second. A lot of you guys have used these before. Underneath are 3 risers. They're 2 inches each, and they're 16 by 19. So they're nice big risers. So I have a similar product like this in my gym. One of the drawbacks to that particular product, which I'll do a review of at some point, is that it's kind of narrow. So my big old size 13 feet don't fit all the way on it. I like this because I can actually fit my big old feet on here, which is great. Each of these platforms is 2 inches tall. They have handles on the side. I will say, I wish this had a handle on the side. I have pinched my hands, so if you get this, be careful. I have pinched my hands putting the top portion on. But the handles here are really nice for moving it around and kind of stacking them. So these are 2 inches each, and they give you a varying height riser to work off of. And I'll go over the stuff I've been using it for here in a minute, give you a couple of demonstrations of what I've been using it for. And then on top, you've got these little nubs that allow everything to lock together. This has a 1,200 pound capacity. So when I was at the store today looking at kind of doing it myself, by the time you buy thick enough and strong enough plywood, and then if you've got all the tools to cut it down, and then make some way for everything to lock together and make recesses in the bottom and little nubs on the top, and then somehow make a wedge that's just as sturdy, that isn't gonna fall over, screw it all together, you could probably do it for less for sure. But A, I don't think it's gonna be as nice as this is, and B, I don't know that it's gonna be as safe as this is. Because one of the things I really like about this is because it all locks together, it's very, very sturdy, and when I show you what I use it for, you'll see why that's important. I do really like too, the wedge portion has grip tape on it. Now, one thing I really wish was different, aside from this wedge having handles, is I do wish that these had the same grip tape, because some of the things that I use these for, I could use a little bit of extra grip, but I will probably go to like a local sporting goods store or something and buy some just grip tape and just put it on here so that I have that extra grip. I don't think it would affect how they nest together or anything like that, and I think it's gonna make these a little bit better for what I use them for. But overall, like I said, yeah, you could DIY something, but I really think for the time savings and the safety, it's better probably just to buy it. Now, the other thing is, a lot of people will look at this and go, well, it's just a slant board. We use it for squatting if you have ankle mobility issues, and that's definitely one thing you can use it for. You know, why else would I use it? So let me go ahead and set this up. I'm gonna show you a bunch of things that I use it for now. There's a ton of uses. One of the things I'm finding about utility items like this that I love is that the longer you have them, the more you find yourself reaching for them. And I'll show you one thing I use this for at the end, which I hadn't expected to use this for or even really thought of. And I was sitting here in my gym and I'm like, oh, let me try this Slant Stack and see if that works for it. And it works great. So let me get this set up and I'll show you a couple of things in my good old workout blue jeans. And you'll see kind of why this might be of value for you and see if it's something you might want to add into your gym. All right, so let's run through these really quick. One of the things I use this for every day is for warm-up bodyweight squats. Normally, if I'm just doing them on the ground, this is a little bit limited by mobility. When I can get down like this, well, you can get down into the bottom of a squat really, really easily. It's much more comfortable. If you have trouble getting depth out of your squats, this is a great tool for that. Another thing that I use this for is elevating both my front and my rear feet for lunges. So I'll just step up here and trip, and then this allows you to get a lot more depth in your lunges, especially if you're holding weights. So elevating your front foot allows you to do that. Elevating your rear foot gives you a different training effect where you can kind of step back onto it and it gets you a little bit more depth back here. So elevated front and rear as far as lunges go. You can also use them the same thing for actual split squats. So if you're doing split squats and you don't want to work all the way up to Bulgarian split squats, I can go ahead and use it this way as well. This is where I wish the grip tape was on here, because as I'm pushing back, I wish there was a little bit more grip. It's okay, but the grip tape's gonna make it much better. Now for the knees over toes guy training, there's two exercises I use these for a lot. The first one is called a Patrick step or Patrick step up. And basically what you're doing is you're just doing a body weight, single leg step up like this. And then that's going to do quite a bit for your knee health, really over anything, and allowing you to do this from a depth. Now this is something you're gonna wanna work up to, but it's a big part of the knees over toes guy training. So I use it for this all the time. The other one I'm really loving this for is something that I'm not up to doing for full range yet, which is called the knees over toes guy split squat, which is going to be a split squat with your front foot forward. And then you're gonna go down and put your knee all the way down like this. I can't do this with my front leg on the floor yet. So this allows me to get this split squat done and be able to get as much range as I can. And then as I work up, I'll be able to take off levels and go 2 inches and 2 inches, and hopefully at some point I will be on the floor. But a lot of these exercises in the knees over toes guy training are a little challenging. A utility tool like this really, really helps. And the last one, and I really could, guys, I could make a very long video of all the stuff I'm using this for. I just kind of wanted to give you a taste of just a few of the things that I'm using this for regularly. And this is the one I was talking about at the beginning of the video, where I figured out kind of a unique way to use it. It wasn't intended for, but I love. A lot of us are adding cable systems into our gym, but a lot of the cable systems, especially a lower price one like this Bells of Steel, to do your low rows, you're either sitting on the floor or you're putting a bench here and you're angling it down. Well, one of the issues is, one of the most advantageous parts of this cable row is the full stretch forward. But when you're just sitting on the ground, it's hard to get position and actually get a nice stretch. What I've done is I've taken the Slant Stack and I put it between the base of the cable unit and then my bench. I've declined this bench a little bit. So what I'm actually able to do now is get my feet actually right on that sandpaper or that grip tape. And now, because I'm further out, I'm able to get a nice stretch out of this. I've got a nice place to put my feet and push off on. This is a much more comfortable way to do these low rows on these types of cable systems than sitting on the floor and trying to not make yourself slide around the floor. I've got a really nice foot plate to push off of. And because of the width, the 16-inch depth of the Slant Stack, I've actually got enough room to actually lean forward and get a nice stretch. If I wanted to, I could even just push against the front of this and scoot back a little further. So that's just one of the few ways that I've come up. Like I said, I've only had this for like, I don't know, a little over a week. And I find myself reaching for it over and over and over again. So that's why I wanted to make this quick video for you. Like I said, just a few minutes to show you just a few of the things you can do and then kind of go over, yes, you could probably DIY one, but with how many things you can do with it, especially with how well built it is, it's definitely worth the price. I'll put a link down below. As usual, that is an affiliate link. I do get a couple bucks if you order one, but that is how companies like the Tib Bar Guy know to send me stuff so that I can show you guys. And until the next review, I'm Tim with GymCrafter.